as beekeepers, we must think of how can we innovate and how can we bring some new ideas on board that will enable us at least have more productions in the times we expect. As we are trying to learn and improve on our innovations, we must do activities in the right time, because time matters. If you do something right in the wrong time, then it will not yield what you're expecting to get. So time also matters. We need the right skill, because we have very many people who can give information, but is it giving you the result you expect? And it is very key. People must resort to reading. People must practice, because people read and then they fail to practice whatever they learn. So in this case, I'm going to take you through the two activities of apiary, of working in your apiary, where you need to have more bees in one hive, which you call colony unification, such that you can get 2 beehives and join them to get one stronger colony. Then after that, we will also see how can we have one stronger colony, then divided into 2. Of course, there are basics we follow. One, for example, if you're working on colony division, or what we call colony unification. If you're working on dividing one stronger colony to get 2 beehives, we must follow some of the procedures. One, the hive must be stronger. The bees in the colony, that colony must be stronger. Stronger means that the bees must be very violent. Not violent in fighting, but too much. They're hardworking. If you look at the pace at when they are entering or getting out of the hive, must be at terrible speed. So that's one of the indicators. Number 2, the hive must be in the same size, same dimension with the sister hive you are going to divide. Some of the people who are using hives there, you find a hive is gotten from some carpenter, and this is made by the farmer themselves. So when you try to join the shapes, when you try to join the bars, when you try to join the covers, they cannot fit. So it matters a lot. You must be sure that the hives you are using, they are having the same dimensions, the same size, the same material in terms of timber. Of course, timber affects the shelter for the bees. Number 3, as you are working on dividing this strong colony, we are following a season. We must do it in a season which is in a swarming period. Swarming periods are seasons that are nearer to the harvesting times, because in most cases, when the harvesting times are on, we are not advisable to divide the bees. So we should advise at least 2 weeks to 4 weeks before we start getting honey there. And the logic behind there is that as you are doing the colony division, they are in a hive. We are having a minimum of 3 types of colonies, of 3 types of combs. What do I mean by combs? The combs which are having honey, the combs which are having brood, and the combs which are having the bee bread. They must follow the way they are in the other mother hive. They must be in the same. They must be the same. We divide them another. So we produce two hives from one. So the order matters. Normally, the hive is framed in a way that the first combs from the holes, there are some little honey there of 2-3 combs. Then you go to bee bread. Bee bread, those are the younger ones of the bees. No, I mean bee brood, the young ones of the bee. Then from there we go to bee bread, which is the product from foreign. So that order matters. And also we are looking at the amount of bees, as I said earlier. As you are dividing those 3 types of combs to a new fresh hive, you must even carry an amount of bees. So normally we are having between 4,000 maybe to 10,000 bees when you count them. That is an average swarm. So you will need it to carry after you have divided. Then you need to is it to carry. Then you put some of the bees in the other hive, in the other young hive. Then you leave it nearer, because if you take it at some distance, they are the logic there is that the queen that is in the mother hive will take control as this younger queen is being developed, for average of 7 to at least 14 or 18 days. So you must bring those hives closer. And even if when you finish doing the activity, you are not supposed to remove them. You need to give them time between 7 days to 18 days. I think then the fourth issue is that as you are working on those mother hive and the younger or the fresh hive which is new, you must make sure that they cover very well. So when you do that, we on the fifth note, we must make sure that we are supposed to feed the bees. And if you cannot feed the bees, then you have chances that colony division might not be 100% successful in terms of production. So why you must feed the bees here is that as you are coming to the harvesting time, we do that activity in the swarming time as approaching to the harvesting, almost at the same time, but people don't always separate them. So we are saying that is the time when the bees can access some forage, can access a lot of forage actually for generating food to feed the colony. So you must produce additional source of food, which is like a sugar syrup or honey syrup. Now, this is entirely to make the stronger colony. This one which you have reduced, and even this one which you have generated, you supplement their feeding. Because as you're doing the divisions, they are like shocked for some time, between first day to 7 days. So if you cannot support them, and for example, the source of the food, the source of forage is in a distant place, it will affect its productivity in times when you expect to harvest. So it must be very, very well calculated. It's not a matter of dividing the colony anyhow. So if you are doing this, you must plan it very well. You do it to the stronger colonies, as I said. You do it in the right time. You are not supposed to do this dividing of colony when it has rained. The conditions must be warm in that place for at least like 2 to 3 hours, such that when you divide, then the shock is not exceeded for some time, to make the bees at least normalize within 30 minutes or 1 hour when you have divided them, so that at least the sun is there. And actually we even advise to do it during the day, because when you do it at night, some level there are more damages that you do at night. So those are the risks that you must follow. Then when it comes to the other side of when I say that you are going to divide 2 beehives, getting 2 beehives and you join them to make one, we are also using almost the same procedure. One, it must be in the times when we are coming to the swarming period or approaching the harvesting time. Number 2, you must make sure that you have 2 beehives as we have in here, or with the bees. But of course, the population of the bees there determine what you should do. That is why we say that for you, after you have noticed as a farmer that your bees are not working strongly, not working very well, of course we are saying that people must be checking their hives every after 2 weeks. So this farmer has tried to check, but in their checkings or their inspections, they are seeing there are no big progresses. Are we together? So what are we trying? What is this farmer supposed to do? We are expecting them at least to join these hives. And in joining the hives, we are trying to make one colony stronger. That means we must lose one. Now what we do, and in most cases, remember we have different species of the bees. Sometimes they are not the same. But what we don't always do much on understanding whether these species are the same. So for us, we join. But in actual sense, you must join the species that you have tested and researched that are of the same family. So it is very, very key. If you are not sure, we advise you not to do it. So this is what I'm telling you is on a ground that you have researched and known that the bees in this hive and the bees in this hive are of the same family. They have same characteristics, have the same genes, have the same production rates. In the local hive, we don't always do. I have never done it in the local hive. I have never divided the swarm, or I have never joined the swarm in local hive, because the joining of the frames is a little bit hard in local hives, because there are no suspending bars which you can use from one hive to another. But in KTB, Langstroth, it is simple. And that's where we advise farmers to always do. And actually, we try it as much as possible to discourage farmers who are still using the local hives, the weaven and the rogue, avoid dividing colonies, because they will make more harm than good. They try to divide and they lose even what they are having, because the hives are not they are not supposed to. They are not comfortable to make it effective. So we are using specifically two types of hives, KTB hives and the Langstroth. Specifically, that's where you can realize effective results. Then, so number 3, you must make sure that all the hives are baited. As I said, even in uniting, you must bait the hive. You make sure that you remove the bad smell in the hive. You must make sure that the bars also are very well treated. They are all baited. So, but of course, as you are going to divide, you must make sure that you do it in times when, after seeing that at least there are a minimum of 3 combs per hive. You don't simply join because the bees have entered and you feel they are working. You must give them a minimum of 4 months. And these 4 months, they must be entering into the swarming period. But sometimes we even advise farmers even to be patient and give it to cross even 7 months. And that's why we focus on the other. This I told you from the beginning, having more hives. If you have more hives, that means that you will realize production you want. Then these cases where you find that the hives are having issues of small bees which you need to unite, they can be on a minor arrangement. But of course, we cannot leave them for granted. We need to join them and have stronger colonies also. I think that's what we can take for now. As you are coming to the farm, as you're coming to the apiary, we need to understand that these procedures are very, very key, and you must do them if you know. If you don't know, kindly avoid them, because you will cause you must get an expert, and of course, if you cannot get an expert, avoid, because sometimes there is a lot of expertise that is needed to transform these, to divide or to join. We must use some of the materials. For example, if we are doing colony division, we must use a protective wear. Somebody must use knives. Somebody must have inspected the hive, see what is happening in the hive. Somebody must use a smoker, must use smoke for some time to calm the bees strongly. Because if you don't do them, then you make the neighbors get problems. So when you're going to unite, you must have the paper. I mean the newspaper which you divide, which you use to separate the combs. We use flour. Mostly we use the cassava flour or flour to disorganize the what? To disorganize or to make the bees not to fight so much. So if you put flour, then they mix with flour for some time. By the time the flour is getting off, then they mix, so the friendship has started generating. Because you must confuse them using the flour to make sure that by the time they understand each other, they join, they are not separating each other, or they are not having different scents from different hives.